Hi, my name's Raj, and I'd like to welcome you to our very first episode of Game Strategy and Reviews. We're going to be reviewing White Star Rising today. We've played this game probably about 5 or 6 times. We just completed a game of it just before. There'll be a link in so you could actually watch the playtest of this game. Um, it's a pretty darn good game. It's a fistful of dice type game. It's played on platoon level. You're using counters to move around. It's not too complex. There are some games that are a lot more complex with a lot of little rules and stuff. You can learn this in a day and actually be happy playing it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it's a simple game, except one of the things, I mean, we just played a game today because we wanted to do a game review, but we wanted to say, why don't we play the game and then do the review? And we also filmed the game, so hopefully we are going to post it.
Yeah, there'll be a link in there, and you'll be able to see turn by turn exactly how it went down and stuff. We ended up having a draw, and it kind of confirmed my theory that the game can be, a little allied skewed, but not too badly.
I personally don't have a problem with, I don't think it's skewed.
Okay.
I've had a lot of fun with it. And, well, I mean, I bought this game really because I used to like Panzerblitz. I mean, I think I still have Panzerblitz and Panzerleader,
Yeah,
but
those Avalon Hill games.
yeah, something left me cold about those games finally, and so I wanted to try this system out, and I don't think it hits the sweet spot for me. But it's got a lot of pluses, and it's the best thing out at the moment.
Yeah.
I haven't hit the Grail game and platoon level games, but this has its pluses. One, it's the fistful of dice, and there are no combat charts. It's all written on the counter,
Yeah.
which is nice because you just look at the counter and roll the dice. But it's got a lot of chrome. I mean, there's a lot of little, it's fiddly. You're always looking through the book to see if it's plus this or plus that, or
Yeah, there are a lot
what
of
is the
unique
exact.
little things that might happen depending on what you're trying to do. Amy, what's up?
So that, I mean, I guess it all makes sense, but it's like I never get the rules straight. There was one rule I couldn't even figure out this game. What was the plus sign on the American Armored Infantry next to the 2 hits?
No, I don't know what the hell that meant.
We don't know what that was.
And, thank God we didn't seem to need to know,
Yeah.
but it would really help.
Basically, the game is indestructible, I must confess. Because if you just go by the counters and look at the terrain effects chart and just play the game,
Yeah,
it seems like a
those
battle.
little cheat sheets that you had printed out and stuff actually helped and stuff. So
I wish they helped more. I think it needs a new cheat sheet. I didn't like any of the rules summaries or cheat sheets I saw out there. One of the reasons is this. The rule book. This rule book to me is atrocious. It's deceptively 9 pages long, so I'm told. So, let me see. The advanced rules. I don't know. Someone said it was 9 pages long, and the rules are like they're convoluted. There's a little bit about headquarters here. There's a little bit there. There's a little bit there. You're trying to find something about headquarters, and you can't find
the
it.
rules need to be re-edited, and if they were, it would have all specific rules for each piece where it needs to be. The person who wrote the rules was not a war game rules heavy person and stuff. It would have been organized in a different way. And
well, do you mean the Foo Fighters?
Yes, it was actually. Don't they get to the special assistance by the Foo Fighters?
Special
We had
assistance.
no idea
I-
that these guys actually play the game. Perhaps it's different people called the Foo Fighters. I don't think so. But it's a good game, and
I think they had the Foo Fighters were doing the rules.
no. Well,
Listen.
how do I know?
No, the rules need help. I mean,
Yeah, they could be organized in a much more coherent manner if they were. It would make looking up these little fiddly bits every once in a while a lot easier. We spent like I said, we played it 5 or 6 times, but each time that we've played it, though our understanding does go up, quite a bit more, so it's actually easier to play. There's an inordinate amount of rule looking up still, and it's simply because it just wasn't organized in the right way. Otherwise, you would have everything there. It would be easier for players to memorize then, because it was written in the right way. I think that's all the game really needs is to have that done, and a little bit more pieces to go and come up with some more custom scenarios. Because, as I said, I think. Like I said, with the Axis forces, if they have the same amount of units as the Americans, they actually do have the advantage. A lot of the early stuff seemed to be the Americans always had a numerical advantage, which helped them to win, or at least in my case, because I played nothing but the Allies. There was one game I played the British. They didn't do as well as the Americans and stuff, in my opinion, in the game. It's not that either that or I just didn't play them that well.
what do you mean? You won all those games?
I didn't. There was only
You
a
didn't
couple
play them that well.
There was
one time I smashed you.
Yes, but I held on by.
Oh yeah, you held on to the victory.
Yes, because I
You
built
did
the
it
minimum
again
criteria
today.
at the end, and I kept on acting like, oh no, don't do this to me, don't do that to me, and it took your mind off of going and achieving what was the real objective, and you looked at it the last turn, it's like, what do you mean? It's the end of the turn, but I've got everything. It's like, yes, but you needed to take this one city. And
I was having so much fun blasting your
Yes,
units. I mean, I did it this time too. Maybe I should have just.
It does lend itself fairly well to these small units really going and getting, shots on each other. It can be a lot of fun. You'll see that, like when you're watching us play test the thing, because, we're saying a whole lot of stuff. It's like, all right, hit you with my 80mm mortar. It's going to be flat. Flat.
You know what it does? It says on the back of the box, it says, you'll find everything you're looking for in a platoon level game. Armor, artillery, infantry that serves more than cannon fodder. Serves as more than cannon fodder. Command and control, air support, and desperate close assaults that leave the victor in possession of the ground and defeated in headlong retreat. All in an easy to learn, challenging to master game system.
Yeah, after your second time of playing it, you really do have a great understanding of the rules. If you're a seasoned wargamer, you basically understand it after, reading up on it.
I could get rid of half those rules, honestly.
Yes, you do.
And just play the game with the dice, the counters, and the combat. And then forget about all those other rules.
It's a good game.
Because that's the game. It's basic.
Like I said, if you like Fistful of Dice games and you like war games of that thing,
In fact, I'm ready to try it. Make a variant.
Warhammer was like that, so you would definitely get a kick out of that if you're into Warhammer. I'm pretty sure it basically set up like a version of 40K Epic and stuff. Was basically on that scale, if you can imagine, just pretty big tanks. Or creatures or whatever that they would have in it. No Baneblade tank coming out. No, you don't get that. You don't get a mouse or a rat or any of the hypothetical things. This is not Men at War. But it's a good representation on exactly what these units were using at the time.
What is a good representation?
White Star Rising.
Okay.
You have real historical formations. They've been broken up that way. You'll use pieces of them or a whole thing at certain times, depending on the scenario scenario. You start out with some of it, play another scenario with it, and you get more of it. I've played with the parachute regiments. I played with the 4th, 56th Army. Now I played with most of the CCA. And I needed to play with most of it because it was just I was throwing up speed bumps that Bart would plow through.
But you know what? I never really like the heavy machine gun or bazooka or.
Man,
I mean, all these little doodads.
I was dropping mortar bombs on you all the time just to chew you down, and
I mean,
didn't stop unless I got screwed up and disrupted, and then I couldn't hit you.
There's something missing there. I had the machine guns. I had the machine guns were always in the wrong spot. Like your tanks were there where my machine guns were. Did set up my anti-tank gun, and I happily plowed away into your armor. That was fun.
See,
the bigger stuff is more fun.
Yeah, once you've got some, like bigger tanks and stuff, or
I thought the bigger support weapons were fun too.
My anti-tank gun didn't even get to make one shot. I had it in the wrong place. Finally moved it up, and then we got assaulted. He did bring his stuff around to get a toehold in my city. So when
you have to put that
assaulted, that
anti-tank gun.
That really does not help in an assault. It's a whole wave of man, and you're going to fire an I would still try to fire it. I'd be shooting at him with my rifle and shit. But yeah, why not? If I shoot everything at him, there's a couple of grenades.
I've got an idea. I feel like this part, all in an easy-to-learn game system. I'd like to rewrite the rules to make it easy to learn. A basic rules, a fun basic rules. And then if you wanted to add like the advanced rules that are in this book and make it a really enjoyable experience, because I think there's these rules it's like a headache trying to get through that book.
Yeah.
9 whole pages.
We both agreed probably about the second or third time playing this that though the rules are good, they are written scatterbrained. It's a piece here, it's a piece there.
You know what?
And if you brought it all together and wrote it that way, you would cut down the amount of paper that was even needed to write
jokes. Have you heard the jokes?
We're not getting into the schnapps and horse fucking morale card and how everybody in the platoon was happy except for Colonel Mantoucher. Okay? Fucking what? Him and Ernst Röhm and shit. Oh yeah, okay. Well, they weren't happy, but at least brought up the morale of the German army. Imagine schnapps and whores would do such a thing.
Wait, what does that mean? Schnapps and whores?
Yes,
is that a
the schnapps and whores card. When you draw that specific card,
is that
your army gets a morale bonus. I mean, shit, if I was getting laid and drunk, I'd be happy. I'd be running out. I'm going to kill you, American swine. Yeah, it's all for the fatherland. I got some. I'm
now
good.
I can't find any of these stupid jokes. I mean, I found these jokes really annoying. There was,
like I said, better writing.
Here
is required.
Formation markers. I mean, it's right here. Formation marker. Formation markers are placed in an opaque container as per scenario instructions. We found that a coffee cup works well, though it's best to clean the cream out, as the formation markers tend to stick to the old moldy remains.
Yeah, I would think I would clean out my cup before throwing the papers in there,
He's trying to be funny. And you know what? On the first pass, I guess it's kind of cute or something. But you're looking up rules and you see that. It's like tripping on some debris on the ground. It's just like, what? If he has these things like designer notes, maybe if he put those jokes in His little designer notes. That would have helped.
Listen,
Yeah.
I don't like having a kick on the game. I just really would think that it's, you need a crucial rules review, and just to
Yeah.
have them organized, because if the rules would take up less space, they'd be more coherent. Players, like later on, because we're bothering to keep learning the system so we play better and stuff, would be able to pick it up a lot quicker, and there'd be less having to reference and going, what's that +1 on? I know I get it, and
I got a.
you need it because you don't draw the Schnapps and Horrors card all the time.
Maybe the game needs cards.
Roll 3 6s and instantly get Schnapps and Horrors card. All right, great.
Well,
ready to roll those 3 6s.
I don't. I want to thank you for checking out games, strategy,
And reviews.
And I'm Bart.
I'm Raj, and you'll see some more of us.
Yep. Okay.